My name is Sophie Carter, and the moment my husband walked back into our house after disappearing for 3 weeks, he stopped like his world had collapsed. His suitcase slipped from his hand. His eyes moved slowly across the room. The house was clean, quiet, organized. Our baby girl was sleeping peacefully near the window, wrapped in a soft pink blanket. And me? I wasn't crying. I wasn't begging. I wasn't even looking at him the way I used to. "What is this?" he whispered. I leaned against the kitchen counter, calm for the first time in weeks. "This," I said quietly, "is what happens when you leave." But to understand why that moment mattered, you have to go back to the night he decided to walk away. It was just 3 weeks after I gave birth. My body still hurt every time I stood up. I hadn't slept properly since bringing our daughter home. Every day felt like survival. And that night, he sat across from me scrolling on his phone while I rocked a crying baby in my arms. "I need space," he finally said. At first, I thought I misheard him. "Space," I repeated. "I can't breathe in this environment," he said calmly. "It's too much, the noise, the stress, everything." I stared at him in disbelief. "I just had your child," I said, my voice breaking. "I'm barely holding myself together." He sighed. "This isn't about you," he said. "I just need time to reset." Then he dropped the real truth. "I booked a trip. I'm leaving for Bali, 3 weeks." For a second, I laughed because it sounded insane. "You're joking, right?" He shook his head. "I leave on Friday." 3 days. He had already planned it. While I was healing, while I was struggling, while I needed him the most. "Can you wait?" I asked quietly. "Just a little, please?" But he had already made up his mind. "This is important for me," he said. That night, I stood at the door holding our baby as he walked away, and something inside me didn't break loudly, it just shifted. I stopped expecting him to come back as the man I needed. The first week without him was the hardest. The baby cried for hours. I barely ate, barely slept. Some nights, I just sat on the floor holding her and whispering, "It's okay," even though I wasn't sure it was. And then, one day, I stopped waiting. I stopped sending long messages, stopped explaining my pain, because deep down, I realized something. He knew, he just didn't care enough. So I changed, slowly, quietly. I started documenting everything. The dates he left, the messages he sent, the money he spent traveling while I struggled at home. I created a routine, fed the baby on schedule, forced myself to eat, took short walks just to feel human again. And for the first time, I started building a life that didn't depend on him. Then I met Mrs. Howard, my neighbor, a retired nurse. She saw me one evening sitting outside, exhausted. "You can't do this alone," she said. And for the first time, someone helped me. She held the baby while I showered, cooked me food, and gave me advice I didn't expect. "Prepare yourself," she said. Not emotionally, practically. That night, I wrote everything down. Then I took the next step. I spoke to a lawyer, not because I wanted revenge, but because I needed control. I checked our bank account, and what I saw shocked me. He had spent thousands, hotels, parties, excursions, while I was struggling to afford basic things. That was the moment something inside me hardened. Not anger, clarity. I moved money into a separate account, organized documents, printed everything, messages, transactions, proof. Then I cleaned the house, rearranged everything, packed his things into labeled boxes, not out of hate, out of decision. By the time he texted, "I'm coming back, miss you," I was ready. He came back on a normal afternoon, bright sunlight, everything visible, no hiding. The moment he walked in, he froze. The house was different, peaceful, controlled. On the table were papers, neatly arranged, legal information, financial records, printed messages, and one letter. He picked it up, his hands shaking. "You left me when I needed you most," he read. "I learned how to stand without you." His voice broke. "This isn't fair," he said. "I needed time." I looked at him calmly, and I needed a partner. Silence filled the room. He looked at the baby. "She's grown." Yes, that's what happens when you're not there. For the first time, he had no excuse, no argument, just truth. "You talked to a lawyer?" he asked. I talked to reality. He sat down slowly, like everything was finally catching up to him. "I didn't think you'd change," he said quietly. "I didn't think I had a choice," I answered. The baby cried softly. We both moved at the same time, then stopped. He looked at me. "Can I hold her?" I hesitated, then stepped back. He picked her up carefully, like he was holding something fragile and something he almost lost. Tears rolled down his face. "I messed up," he whispered. "I thought I could pause everything and come back. But life doesn't pause. People don't wait forever." That night, he didn't sleep. For the first time, he stayed. The next morning, we sat across from each other. "I'll fix this," he said. I shook my head. "You don't fix it," I said calmly. "You rebuild it. Slowly, with actions, not words." And for the first time, he listened. Not defensively, not casually, but seriously. Over the next weeks, things changed. Not magically, but consistently. He woke up at night, helped with the baby, stopped running, started showing up. Every day. And I didn't forgive instantly. Trust doesn't come back like that. It returns slowly, through effort, through truth, through time. One night, as we stood beside our baby's crib, he held my hand. And this time, I didn't pull away. Not because everything was perfect, but because, for the first time, he stayed when it was hard. And that's when I understood something. Love isn't about promises. It's about presence. Because the people who truly love you don't leave when life gets difficult. They stay. And if they don't, you learn how to stand without them. And that is where your real strength begins.